Welcome my students, welcome to my today's topic. Today we will be discussing about the practical part of QBasic. Okay, so already we know that a program is a set of instructions that makes a computer work. Okay, so there are different programming languages, Basic is one of them. Okay, now we know that Basic is an easy to understand high level programming language used by the beginners. Okay, used by the beginners. The full form of Basic is beginners all purpose symbolic instruction code. Okay, so popular versions of Basics are QBasic, Visual Basic. Okay, so in this lesson we will learn about the QBasic, that is quick beginners all purpose symbolic instruction code. Okay, so let us start QBasic. So to start QBasic, just click the qbasic.exe file in your computer. Okay, so here in this I am double clicking on QBasic file. Okay, then a blue background screen appears. Okay, so this is the QBasic window. Okay, so now we will learn about the QBasic window. Actually QBasic window has menu bar, title bar, program area and status bar, all these components. Okay, so we will learn one by one. So this bar, top bar, is known as the menu bar. Okay, so in this bar file, edit, view, search and run options available, and below this bar it is untitled. Here this bar is known as title bar. Okay, so you have to put the title of your project here. Okay, now this blue screen portion is known as the program area. Okay, and this bar is known as the status bar. Okay, and here you will be displayed the status of your program, current program. Okay, got it? So at first we will start how to create a new program. Okay, so let us create a program to display hello students on the screen. Okay, to create a new program, at first we have to click on new under file on the menu bar. Okay, file and the new. Okay, so got it? Then type the program statement in the program area. Okay, in this case you are typing print and double inverted comma, then hello students. Okay, and then click on the run and then click on the start. Okay, so it is executing the, so it is creating the executing file, and a black screen will be appeared as a output screen. Oh, okay, so this is output screen. Here hello students is displayed. Okay, now if you want to go to the original screen, that means blue screen, then press any key on this screen. Okay, so now again blue screen appears. Okay, so now we will start to do practical using the QBasic statements. Okay, so we know that a program consists of statements. Statements are instructions or commands given to the computer to perform a special task. Okay, so we know that QBasic has statements such as end, let, CLS, input and rem. So all the statements we will learn one by one here. At first we will learn about the print statement. Okay, so we know that the print statement is used to display output. Okay, so this output may be the numbers, messages and values of the variables. Okay, so now let's do some example of print statement and check their outputs. Okay, so at first we are writing that print and then dominated comma, and then I am writing computer. Okay, got it? So already I have told you that whatever you have to print on the output screen, you have to write inside the double inverted comma beside the print statement, and then click on the run and then click on start. So it is creating executive file, and on the output screen you will have the output. Here it is computer. Okay, so now press any key to continue. Okay, got it. So next we will do that, we will use variable to print the numeric value as well as the string value. Look at that. Okay, so we know that a variable is a storage place where value can be stored. Okay, so I am taking a variable that is a, and I am assigning a value that is 10, I am assigning a value 10 to this variable. So I am writing a equal to 10, and on the next line I am writing print a. Okay, got it. So here look at the second line, we are not using the double inverted comma for variable a. Okay, because here a is the variable, a is not the text. Okay, so don't use inverted comma for the variable. Okay, so now here we have stored the value of a, that is 10, and then we are printing the value of a using the print a statement. Okay, now click on the run and then start. So it is creating executive file, and on the black screen, that means output screen, we will get the value 10. Okay, got it. Okay, got it. Now if you want to print any string value using the variable, then we have to write like that way. Suppose I am to write computer, and okay, so we have to always keep in mind that whatever we are using as a string value, we have to put it inside the double inverted comma. Okay, so now a equal to computer, that means the string value is stored in variable a, but we know that to store any string value to the variable, we must mention the $sign beside the variable. Okay, okay, otherwise it will be error, otherwise it will be wrong. So now again I have to use $sign to print the variable, print the value of the variable a dollar. Okay, so now computer is stored in the variable a, and we are mentioning $sign as a is here storing the string value. Okay, and also in the print statement we are using a dollar. Okay, now click on the run and click on the start. So it is creating the .exe file, and on our output screen we will get the output, that is computer. Okay, okay, now if we are not mentioning $sign, then click on the run and start. So it gives us error. Okay, look at the output, it gives us 0 as a result, so it is wrong. Okay, so you have to use $sign beside the variable name when you are displaying the string value as the output. Okay, now we are doing something on variable, that is, suppose I am taking a equal to 6, and on the next line we are taking b equal to 4. Okay, and on the next line we are trying to add those values. So actually we are doing here a plus b. Okay, now look at it very carefully. Here a equal to 6 and b equal to 4. Okay, that means a is the variable, b is also the variable. So a stores the value 6 and b stores the value 4. Okay, now we are trying to find out the sum of these two variables. Okay, so we are writing print a plus b. Okay, now if we click on the run and then start, then we will have on the output screen, that is 10, because 6 plus 4 gives us 10. Okay, okay, so you can use any operator, okay, inside the between the a and b. Okay, you will get the result as per your respective operator. Okay, Now if we use comma here and deleting the plus sign, that means it will print both the values a and v. So if we write it and then click on the run and then click on start, so it gives us the value a and v on the output screen, 6 and 4. Okay, got it? We can write at a line or we can write it at different line using two print statement. So a is 6, b is 4, that means the a holds the value 6, b holds the value 4, and now we are printing those values on the separate line. So we are written that print a and print b. Okay, you can do it also, then click on run and click on the start button to check the output. So here look at the output. At first this value is 6 and next value is 4, that means the value of a is 6 and the value of b is 4. Okay, so you can show the value like that way. Now we are doing something more, that is, suppose a equal to 6, that means the value of the variable a is 6. Now if I write print a minus 2, okay, then run and then click on the start, so it gives the result 4, because we know the value of a is 6 and we are subtracting the value 6, okay, by 2. Okay, so we are subtracting value 2 from 6, the value of variable a. So a minus 2, that means 6 minus 2, that is 4 on the output screen. Okay, got it? So also we can use operator for the variable. Okay, we can manipulate here. Okay, so already we have learned about the print statement, how it is used also. Okay, now we'll start. Now we'll do the let statement. Actually let statement is used to assign a value to the variable. Okay, so if we take for the let statement, we have to write let, okay, and then write the variable name. Here it is a, suppose I am taking it, and then equal to equal sign, and then whatever value you want to put here, 1 2. Okay, so in this line I am assigning value 12 to a variable a. Okay, and also we can do it for string value also. So again we are taking let and then in a name and then using dollar sign, and we are taking the value. Okay, got it? Okay, okay, now if you click on the run and click on the start, so you will get the result on the output screen. Okay, okay, okay. Now on the output screen, if you want to get the results, then you have to use print statement also. So write print statement on the next line and then write variable name a, then make a comma and then another variable name, that is name dollar. Okay, now click on the run and start, and on the output screen you will get the result, that is 12 and another value of the variable, that is flower. Okay, so you can print both value at a line, or you can use two print statement to print both values. Okay, okay, so you can use here also another print statement and you can print this value on the output screen. Okay, so one thing is that at first we have mentioned the let statement, but now it is omitted, so don't worry about it. Okay, now the next statement we learn, that is end statement. Okay, so end statement is the last statement of QBasic program. So if any statement is written after the end statement, it will not be executed. Okay, so if I write anything after end statement, so I am mentioning end. Okay, so you can mention end statement at the end of the QBasic program. Okay, so then click on the run and then click on the start. So you will get the result on the output screen, that is 12 and flower. Okay, so if I write anything after the end statement, as we know that this statement will not be executed by the QBasic. So if I write here print and then okay, and click on the run and then click on the start. So on the output screen, look at very carefully. Sorry. On the output screen, look at very carefully. It is not displayed here. Okay, because I have mentioned the statement print my name after the end statement. Okay, so write print my name before the end statement if you want to display this line. Okay, so if I write before end statement and then execute the program, run and then start, look at the output. Okay, 12 flower and my name. Okay, got it. Okay, now the next, now we'll learn about the rem statement. What is rem statement? Suppose I want to write anything for the interest of the programmer. Okay, but this statement is not executed by the QBasic. Okay, so the rem statement is used to write comments in a program. So anything written with the rem statement is ignored by the QBasic. Okay, so the comments help the programmer write the purpose of the program and describe the variables used in the program. Okay, the comments are not displayed during execution of the program. Okay, so if I write here rem, that is remarks rem, and write something, suppose I am writing this is my first program and then enter and then write end and click on the run, then start. So on the output screen, sorry, here you have to write print a and then name dollar. Okay, to print, and then I have mentioned rem. Now click on the run and then click on the start. Now look at the output. Okay, so only it displays the value of the variable here, but the statement the rem statement is ignored by the QBasic. Okay, understand? Okay, now we will learn about the input statement and the difference between input and let statement. Okay, so now I am trying to teach you the input statement. Actually, the purpose of input statement is to get one or more values from the user. Okay, when the program executes the input statement, it displays a question mark and waits for the user to type one or more values. Okay, if one variable follows input, the program expects only one value. If more than one variable follows input, the user must type the values separated by commas until each of the variable is assigned a value. Okay, got it? So I am writing one program here, that is I want to find out the area of the rectangle using let statement and using in statement, using input statement. Then you will have the knowledge about the difference and both of them. Okay, so we know that for a rectangle the length is L and breadth is B. Okay, so to find out the area the formula will be L into B. Okay, so I am writing it. Let L, and we are assigning value 4 here for L, and again L, and we are assigning value of B, that is 8. Okay, now we are writing the formula, that is area equal to length into that is B, that is breadth here. So here actually we are doing this for to store the value of L into B in the area. Okay, so that means area holds the value of multiplication of L and B. Okay, so the result is stored in the area. Okay, now we have to print the value of area here. Okay, because area stores the value, that means area stores the result here, multiplication result here. Okay, now if we click on the run and then start, so it gives us the result, that is 4 into 8, that is 32. Area is 32. But if we write this program using the input statement, it will give us the different way. So look at very carefully. For let statement we are assigning value to the variable at the beginning. Okay, but if we want to use the input statement, look at very carefully. For input statement, write input and then write L, and on the second line I am taking input for B. Okay, that means here we are not assigning any value to the variable L and B. Okay, so input means at the runtime or on the black screen we will have to enter the value of this. Okay, got it? So this is the basic difference between let and input statement. Okay, now click on run and click on start. Now look at the output screen. Now look, here is the question mark. So this question mark asks you to input any value for the L. Okay, so now I am giving the input here 5, then press enter key, and then again input any value from the keyboard, that is 7 we are taking, then press the enter key, then you will get the result 35. Okay, so that means for input statement you have to put the value for the variable at the runtime or the output screen. Okay, or on the output screen. Okay, got it? Okay, so now you can do this one thing. You can write here print enter the value of length. Okay, okay, you can print this to give the user better idea what type of value they should enter. Okay, and for B also the same thing. Print enter value of breadth. Okay, okay, now click on the run and then start. Now look at the output. Okay, so here question marks again blinking the cursor. Okay, okay, so that means question mark asks you to enter the value, but I have mentioned at the top, enter the value of length. So it is very much easy to understand what type of value we should input on the output screen. Okay, so here we are giving the value of length, that is 6, and then press on the enter key. Then again it shows that enter the value of breadth. So if you give it 8 as the value, then it gives us result 48. Okay, so now for the result we can do one thing, that here we can write inside the double inverted comma the area is, okay, and check the output now. Okay, so here C++ compilation failed here because we have to use comma, okay, between inverted comma and variable. Okay, so remember all this point, then click on run and start again. So on the output screen you will have the text, enter the value of length. So we are entering the value 78, now 90, the area is 7020. Okay, got that idea? Okay, got it? Okay, so similarly we can use input statement for the string value also. Okay, okay, so we can use it like we can write enter your name. Okay, so name means the variable should be with $sign. Okay, so we are taking input name dollar. Okay, then print enter your age. Okay, and on the next line I am taking input for age, that is age. Okay, and then print NAME dollar semicolon and is of the age. Okay, and then comma, okay, and then end. Okay, so compilation failed. Why? Because you have to put comma here. Okay, got it? So look at this here on the first line, it is print enter your name. Okay, so it will be displayed on the screen. Okay, by watching this, user can understand that what type of value he or she should input here. Then input name dollar. So name dollar is the variable that will store the value whatever you will give the input on the output screen. Okay, and next line is print enter your age. Okay, so it will be displayed on the screen. Then the user will enter the value for the age, and the value will be stored inside the age variable. So input age, that means age is here the variable. Okay, now on the next line print name dollar. So here I am trying to print the value of both of the variable, okay, in a simpler way. So name dollar, that means it will print the name of the student, and then is of the age, it will be displayed as normal text, and then age will be displayed. Okay, and then at last end. So run the statement, start. So look at the output now. Enter your name. So I am entering my name, suppose. Okay, then enter. Now enter your age. I am entering age 45. Then click on. So the text is Aman is of the age 45. Okay, understand? Okay, I think everything is very much clear. Okay, so if you have any doubts anywhere, then pause the video and watch it again. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, and now the last thing is, if you want to exit from the QBasic window, then click on the file and click on the exit. Okay, then if you want to save this file, then save yes, and here put the file name. Here it is, give any file name. Suppose I'm writing here hello. Okay, hello.bas. So the file name we are giving it bas. .bas is the extension of the QBasic program, sorry, QBasic file. Okay, now click on the OK.